Hello, and welcome to the Whiny Moms podcast, a judgment-free zone where moms can be themselves, where we can whine and whine after our kids go to bed, where we can share laughs, share our struggles, and just hang out and be ourselves. Welcome, Whiny Moms.
Hello, Whiny Moms.
How are you tonight, Jay?
I'm doing good. Just getting back into the routine after the holidays and all of that. How about you?
Oh, same. My kids went back to school this week, and also practices and all the fucking events and shit started this week, and everything is just back. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I was having such a nice time.
Yeah, they're waking
Just
up
going to
early and all that. My kids didn't go back to school till Wednesday because they had snow days. So,
well,
the snow just makes it like 10 times more difficult though, because it's like, you gotta make sure they're bundled up, and then you gotta make sure your car's like scraped up in the morning, get all the snow off. Like, it's just extra work.
It's awful. That's like at least 15 minutes to your getting ready time, huh?
Gotta warm up the car. Yeah.
I have a hard time just getting my kids to put a jacket on.
Yeah. My kids will like come upstairs with like tennis shoes and a t-shirt. I'm like, do you see what's going on outside? Like, don't put snow boots on and put a jacket on. Like, what the hell?
Dude, Guinevere wears like these little flats and she won't even wear socks with them. And I'm like, it's like 40 degrees or 30 something degrees outside and it's like raining. What are you doing? Put your fucking boots on. No, I don't want to. It's just frustrating. But then you know what? Sometimes I just let her go. I'm like, you're going to have cold feet, I guess, because this is happening.
Cold feet are the worst.
I think they are too, but apparently she does not care. A child will not wear socks to save her life. She takes them off when I'm not looking and then like doesn't tell me. And then by the time I notice, it's too late.
Damn.
Anyway. Oh, real quick before we get started our episode, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking some Bogle Chardonnay.
Ooh, fancy.
I'm
drinking out of this cute Rapunzel cup. I'm going to show you.
Oh, is that another one your sister made for you?
Yeah.
At last, the wine.
I see the wine. I'm drinking actually the 19 Crimes, I think, the Martha Stewart one.
Oh, yeah, I've tried that one.
Dog. Yeah. It's not bad.
The Shard.
Mm-hmm. Martha Shard.
I had my husband go up to the liquor store for me, and on the way there, the roads are so icy. He's seen a car in a ditch, cops, like fucking sister. He like literally risked his life for me.
All right. So for this episode, we're going to be talking about something pretty interesting and kind of fun. Mm-hmm. Do you know what kind of parent you are? There's so many choices and options.
It's so hard to decide because I feel like there's some things I agree with and some things I don't. Like, I'm like, I don't know. What did you determine that you were?
I'm a wine mom. There we go.
Well, okay. Yeah, definitely a wine mom.
Silky as hell.
And we're silky.
I mean, I've got just to run down the options for you real quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crunchy versus silky. You got sad beige mom, which particularly is just thoughts. Let's just go over some thoughts. Sad beige made me a little sad. I don't believe in that, but I guess you're not hurting anyone like you do, you.
Right.
I also think that's like an internet thing. I've never actually met a sad beige mom in real life. Have you?
I haven't, but I've seen people on the internet that are sad beige moms.
I think they're faking it. I don't think it's real. I think it's an internet only thing, or it's like a very small percentage of people, maybe. I don't know.
Right. Or maybe that's just their like they only post, things that look
Right?
like that just to keep
Exactly.
up with the appearance that they're trying to
I
portray.
totally painted my Christmas tree and my jack-o'-lantern beige because why wouldn't I? Like, yeah, it's not real. People don't do that. I don't know.
Do we want to explain what sad beige is, or do you want to start elsewhere? We kind of
Sure,
went all
go
over
for
the
it.
place.
Let's define some terms. We'll define
Okay.
some terms. Go ahead.
So sad beige parenting is like a social media trend where parents choose neutral colors and materials for their homes and their children's belongings. So using like gray and beige and like muted earth tones.
And I love me some gray. Today I
Me
wore
too.
all gray, including my underwear and bra. Everything was gray. I love gray, but
I love gray and beige.
your kids' toys shouldn't be gray.
Yeah, so they choose colorless wooden toys versus brightly colored ones. Prefer
that stimulate the child's brain.
neutral, sustainable materials like non-toxic, cleaning products and plant-based food dyes. They use organic products, neutral colors for their kids' clothing.
That's weird. That's a bridge too far.
Yeah. I mean,
you can be organic and not be beige. I feel like there's some overlap here.
For sure. I don't know. I feel like colors are important in kids' lives.
They are, and they're important to development, and I mean they're important to adults too. Like, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
What would holidays? What would Christmas be without Christmas lights?
Exactly.
So, anyway, we're clearly not beige moms, and if you are beige mom, I mean, I don't want to call you a sad beige mom because I feel like that's rude.
I'm not a sad beige mom. I love beige. I love neutral colors. I love whites, like for my home decor. But for my kids' room and their toys, like my kids can be who they want to be. I'm not gonna make their rooms fit my aesthetic because it pleases me,
I think it's an internet thing. I don't think people do this in real life. I don't see any kids going to school like this. It's not a thing. With their like sad gray lunchbox.
With their beige Tupperware.
Beige backpack.
Poor kids.
No. Okay. Moving on. That was fun. You got your classics. Mm-hmm. Tiger. Wow. Helicopter. Lawnmower. Okay. I mean, Tiger Mom. Okay, well, we gotta find. Tiger Mom is like the really they push their kids to accomplish more, and they're like super like high expectation. Is that how would you say it? I have a hard time defining this one.
So yeah, high expectations. So they set high expectations for their children and micromanage their lives to ensure they meet them. They may withhold affection from their children. They do things like respond to their children because I said so. I mean, I do that sometimes too. But it's mainly
all right, I'll talk about the old favorite. Don't make me give you a reason.
Right. It's like it promotes strong work ethic and loyalty and commitment to education. It's seen a lot in like the East Asian countries, where education is often seen as a key to improving one's social economic status,
Obviously, they can have some consequences, though, on the kids' like self-esteem. And we all know that person who got pushed really hard. And like, honestly, I don't know. I think there's pros and cons. I think there's something to be taken from that like way of parenting. It's just way more energy than I'm able to give.
Exactly. I don't have the time.
I don't care that much. And that's maybe just me, So yeah, like you have these different styles. I'm just going to kind of run through. Helicopter, obviously. Gentle parents, which we all know that gentle parenting only works to a certain extent. Like it's like the perfect parent everyone wants to be, but can somehow never live up to because it's unrealistic. That's like my main issue with gentle parenting is it makes you always feel like you've fallen short, because if you lose your temper at all, it's like, oh no, I've just and people like think they've just I just remembered a whole thing. People think they've like destroyed their children, and then people go, I shouldn't have kids because I'm not ready, and then people don't have kids because they think they're not ready, and then they like think like if you have kids you're being selfish, and then it's this whole toxic cycle. I watched too many videos.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes as parents we're gonna fall short, and that's okay because we're humans, you know. And it's like this gentle parenting idea that it's like you have to like constantly just, you know, talk it out with your children, and you
There's
know,
not enough time in your life.
you know, rear into their emotions and all this stuff. It's just like sometimes you just need them to get the fuck up and go do something, you know.
Yeah.
Like you can't, it's just, I don't know, it's impossible for me.
There are certain things you can't explain to a child because they cannot comprehend it, but you as an adult know for their safety or for their well-being or for just the sake of them getting to school on. It could be something as simple as them getting to school on time. It could be something as simple as like they need to do homework or they need to eat a vegetable. Like it doesn't always have to be like some life or death, like I told you not to cross the street, which like no, that's a big one. But like, I mean, you know, they don't comprehend it.
And I watched some videos which I understood where it's like the way they explained it, it's like, okay, it's gentle parenting, but it's age appropriate discipline. So like, you know, timeouts or whatever. Like I don't know. I don't know that they necessarily do spanking.
Well, no, I feel like that would definitely be frowned upon.
Yeah, but I kind of understand. I understand where they're coming from in certain ways, but it's hard to just live by that every single day.
It feels very unrealistic. It just feels, and then you just give up, and then that's terrible because then you're like, you don't want to go the other direction. Like the whole point is to be nice and to, you know, try to like do your best. And then when you get so like, what am I trying to say? I'm rambling. The whole point is if you feel so defeated, I feel like that makes you a worse parent.
Right.
Right? Because you're coming from like a frustration place, which makes your temper worse and makes your patience worse instead of just like being realistic with yourself and realizing like sometimes, I'm going to lose my temper. Sometimes my kids are going to get upset. Sometimes we're going to have bad days.
Mm-hmm.
But you can just take a breath and start over right then and there. You can just, each time you made a mistake, you move on. You I acknowledge, like sometimes when I go too far to my kids, I do apologize to them.
Yeah.
And I explain.
That's my thought too.
I explain what happened. I explain how I was overwhelmed, or I explain like, you know, mom loses her temper too. Mom's working on this too. We can work on it together.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to apologize to your children and let them know that we're all humans. You know, we all make mistakes, and they will take that into their life and, you know, use that as a tool to know to apologize to other people and be kind and gentle human beings.
I mean, right. And that's, I think, like the issue. You don't have to be perfect, but
no.
I've had like my own friends, and I know that they weren't coming from a place of like negative, like judgment, or like they weren't like saying, like trying to talk shit about me in my face, but I don't know how to say that. But they were like, do you feel selfish for having kids? Because like we don't want to have kids because of how fucked up the world is. And I'm just like,
what?
I've like had like my friends like ask me that, and I'm just like, I know that they're like genuinely like, how did you do it? Like, how'd you get past this or something? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'd never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It never crossed my mind. Am I selfish? Do you guys think I'm selfish? Do you guys think I'm a bad person?
Because you had children?
Like, what is happening? But I found a lot of people feel that way.
I feel like a lot of like this new generation coming up is struggling with that. And there's been a decline in the amount of people that are having kids.
I just think I find it sad. I find it sad that there's like the people who are like, oh, kid free, the kid free people. And I'm like, okay, if you don't have kids, like fine, don't have kids, but don't sit here and like, I don't know,
Make you
try to
feel
make me
guilty.
feel bad because I
Yeah.
had like I feel like there's a and they think they think they've had a lot of pressure to have kids and society is I get it. But like what is this weird? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. This weird guilt, like I don't have the right to bring kids into this world. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's
That's
weird.
insane. It's insane. That's what we're made for.
Like that's literally like why we exist.
Yeah.
Like I know that sounds simplistic, but I mean we're animals. It's true.
Yeah.
Like parenting is not this like people go, oh, you should have to be certified. You should have to like blah blah. I'm like no, like we innately know. Like no, it doesn't mean everyone's a good parent, obviously, but we innately know how to raise kids. Like it's just like a animal knows how to raise its baby. Like that sounds bad, but it's true. It's what do you call
It's primal knowledge.
It's primal. Yes.
Yeah.
What is the word? It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah. It comes natural to women. I mean, and men as well. It's just, that's what we were made to do, is breed.
And like, oh, okay. So the video I sent you, we watched this video that was talking about, like, God, this is hard. Okay. How society has us be a certain way to fit into society, but it kind of goes against our nature where like children don't want to be separated from their parents. And so when they act out and they have separation anxiety, like people will be like, oh, that child's being inconvenient and that child gets shamed or punished, but they're just being a normal, like it's a normal natural
It's a normal emotion. Yeah.
From their parents. Of course, they're going to be like that. They're like a toddler or a kindergartner. They're a young child.
Yeah.
Or going to daycare when they're, an infant or toddler. And also like when a kid needs stuff, we disciplining your child into being convenient is actually very mentally damaging.
Yeah.
Which made me feel so much better about my kids.
It made me feel a little sad about my kid because I feel like so much of my parenting is worked around me making her like behave, during the day when I'm working.
Yeah.
From home. So it's like, oh gosh, what am I doing to her? I can't wait till she goes to preschool and at least gets like, an environment where she can like hang out with other kids and not constantly like feel like she needs to, I don't know, hold herself back or just like not bother me,
Yeah.
That makes me feel sad.
Oh, that is sad. It's okay though. She'll be okay.
Yeah.
These are inevitabilities of life, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been hard lately because now she's got a voice, and she'll, when I'm working and I'm taking calls, she'll come screaming at the door and knocking and asking for whatever she needs. And I'm just like, you can't do that because mommy's working. But she doesn't understand that. And she'll be like, okay. And then she'll go and do it again.
She's like, all right, I don't know what that means. I need blah.
I need a diaper change. I need milk. I need water. It's normal necessities,
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you have to think about it. And that's where I think the gentle parenting comes in, like just remembering like, what else is this kid going to do? Like, it is very frustrating, but we have to like accept it. I guess it's just about acceptance.
Yeah.
It's a deep dive.
For sure.
Okay. Couple more I want to talk about before we get into like the 4 main parenting structures. By the way, I feel like I could have done a better job structuring definitely here. But you know what? We're just going.
We're just going with the flow, I guess.
So, you introduced me to something called a lawnmower mom, and I thought that was very funny.
Lawnmower parenting is a parenting style where parents try to remove obstacles from their children's lives and kind of like prevent them from experiencing, discomfort, failure, pain.
It's like
it's also known as bulldozing parenting or snowplow parenting. So examples of this, not allowing children to quit, intervene in conflicts with their friends, teachers, or coaches, like requesting unreasonable accommodations for their children.
It doesn't seem unreasonable to them.
Giving their children whatever they want or removing their children from activities that are too difficult for them. I mean, that one's okay. But
some of the times you got to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you see it a lot like with like celebrities and stuff like that, like pay or bribe people that are into having their kids go to college and stuff like that. Like that's been a recent thing.
Oh yeah, all those people got in trouble for that.
Yeah. So
this is like extreme helicopter parenting, right?
Right. So too much involvement and can cause negative repercussions because children need to experience failure and disappointment to develop skills in their own lives. When you remove these experiences, children may not know how to troubleshoot throughout their life or encounter real problems in the world. So
I really identify with this, and I know it's bad.
How?
I've got a lot of this in me. The sentiment is there. I'm not saying I'm going to do these extreme things, but I understand why they would. And part of me kind of sometimes does, like in small ways. And I was watching something. I don't remember if it was the video that we both watched or if it was another video that I watched about the gentle parenting video I was talking about. It was saying like, don't do things for your kids that they can do them. They want to try to do themselves. And I was like, oh, I mean, I used to believe that. And then I'm impatient and kids take forever to do stuff. So I just do stuff for them.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing we talk about with the floors.
I think it's a little different though.
No, the other day, my kids wanted to take lunch to school and we were supposed to leave in 2 minutes. And I was like, I don't have time to do this. And normally I would just rage, make some sandwiches, yell at them about how we're late, and then be angry, go to work and be late. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be late either way. We're not getting out of this house without home lunches. We're not getting out of this house. It's not happening. There's going to be tangent. I'm either going to have to drag these kids kicking and screaming and have my neighbors like be like, oh my God, that crazy woman again. It's not the first time this has happened. Into the car. Get in the car. Just get in the car in the front yard for 5 minutes. Or I'm going to be late because I have to make these sandwiches really quick. And I'm going to be pissed off the whole time. Doing me yelling at them like, you guys are making me late. Or I can just be like, you know what? Just fucking do it yourselves. I'm going to get my stuff together. I'm going to be late either way. They made their own lunches. I was late. I was going to be late anyway, though. There was no getting out of that.
You just made yourself extra late.
And you know what? It was so much less stressful. So I was like, it only took like 2 or 3 more minutes than I would have taken, honestly. So
yeah, that's not bad. And your kids are happy.
Yeah, they were happy. So I was like, I think I did something good. It's terrible. Oh my God, my son made a peanut butter and banana sandwich. It was cute.
Oh.
My daughter put mayonnaise on the ham, not the bread.
That's interesting.
On the ham. Got to put some mayonnaise on that ham. She's all narrating herself. It was adorable. And I'm like, that's gross. I don't like mayonnaise. Why are you doing that? But you know what? Whatever. I'm sorry, though. I forgot what we were talking about. I got so lost in that. Lawn mooring. Okay, yeah. So I learned to stop lawn mooring.
So lawn mooring parenting. What's next?
Oh god. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. Okay, so there's a couple small ones. Hot mess, which
Hot mess mom.
Hot mess mom over here. And I was watching this thing with like different types of moms, and the hot mess mom was like rolling up late to book club. Oh
Yeah.
crap, was I supposed to bring bagels? Oh,
I've
you brought
seen that
bagels.
one.
And she was like, who's practice? Is someone going to practice? No. Okay. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm late, guys. You know what? You're a bitch for bringing the bagels because you knew I'd forget. That's so what I think.
Yeah, I can be hot mess mom sometimes too. I mean, we all are.
They recorded me and used me for that video.
I mean,
Dear God. Wine mom, which people be talking shit. But...
I looked up wine mom on Wikipedia, and it said it's a term that is used to describe a typically upper middle class mother.
We made it.
Often with young children who turn to alcoholic drinks to cope with being overworked and fatigued from parenting. That was the definition.
I feel like I'm overworked and fatigued from work. But then, like, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Like, it's definitely both. But I feel like if it wasn't so overworked from work, I'd be able to, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think that's a little bit classist of them to define wine moms like that, first off. Because you don't have to have money to
You
buy.
don't have to be an upper middle class mother.
Just find comfort and sweet shard. I'm gonna die. Yeah, that's nice of them to assume I'm rich. Thank you.
Right? Feel bougie.
I'm so bougie right now. Okay. Okay. Minimalist mom.
I don't have that one on my list.
I know, because I forgot to send it to you, and then I was like, all week I had it saved like as a draft to text to you, but I'd always remember it in appropriate hours. And so I'm like, I'll text her later. And then I'd be like, damn it, it's like midnight where she is.
All right, you explain that one.
So do you know what a minimalist is, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's basically like that, but just annoying. Like, they're just annoying. And I got really into the decluttering like space, and the minimalists keep coming up, and you know what? They're annoying. I don't know. This is supposed to be a judgment-free zone. I feel like I'm being very judgy tonight, but
no judgment zone.
No judgment, but some judgment. No. Okay. So I'm not a minimalist. I mean, I get that people are. I don't necessarily aspire to it, but I see that there's some aspects of it that are good. The part I think that's annoying about it is that people aspire to it, and I'm just like, but you don't need to. Like, it's the same thing with the crunchy versus silky. Okay. Oh, we got to go back to that. But anyway, minimalist mom is like, oh, my kid. Oh God, I have a story. Okay. My kid only has 3 pairs of pants because that's all they need. My kid only has, my kids don't have a lot of shoes because shoes wear out and we buy cheap shoes. But other things, like my kids don't have like a lot of hair accessories or jewelry or toys or books or stuffed animals or like whatever thing your kid has too many of. Markers, video games. What else? Keychains.
Keychain.
Coats. Not coats, like jackets, hoodies. Like, and that's only because we have such a small dresser for them. Actually, they have the right amount. They just have nowhere to put them. Yeah. You go on and on and on about things that you shouldn't have too many of. But minimalist people apply that to like also to their children and their parenting style, and just like, I don't know. I'm not that myself. I can see why it would be helpful though. Can you imagine your kid's room always being clean?
Yeah, I can see it too, but like my kids have grandparents and people.
Oh my God, right?
Give them stuff all the time. Like, it's impossible. Like, they have shit all the time. Just give them stuff. It's like There's no way. Then, like, I can't, like, just imagine myself purging, like, really good new stuff that they can
No.
still use.
I threw away 3 bags of old toys right after Christmas, and my kids didn't even notice. 2 of them were from my
I'm
daughter's
about to do that too, because
it was time. I do it like once a year. I go through. I'm like, oh yeah, this old 5-year-old toy that's like up broken, and there's like so many of them. And I donate on it. I do donate a lot. I donate a lot, but these ones were not donate. They were
trash.
bad. They had a hard life, guys. This was like weird Barbie status toy. Like, why do we still fucking have this? But I just kept saying that because Guinevere's toys are still, she still has all her toddler, she still had all her toddler toys.
Oh, okay.
She's 6, and I put them in bins because she was still somewhat attached to them and wouldn't let me get rid of them. And I'm like, I'm going to put them in these bins and we'll see. And she hasn't touched them in like a year. So I'm like, all right, it's happening. It was like it was really, really used toddler toys, like to the point where nobody would want these. They're chewed on. You could see pieces of them missing and like paint missing and teeth marks. God. Some of them were like Barbies the dog had eaten. Anyway, it was a lot. And I was like, how do you still have so much shit?
It's insane.
So yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice. Oh, my story. Okay. So I got really into like organization and meal prep and shit. Like you would know if you've seen any of our episodes. I did. I got really deep. And there was this channel I found, and I'm not going to say the name of the channel because I realized that the person might be a really bad person because she was a minimalist to a level where she would invite people to a barbecue that was actually her kid's party because she didn't want them to buy her kids useless gifts. If she didn't, the toy you bought her kid didn't align with their values, she would straight up make her kids sell it online. For Christmas, she got her daughter stuff to make bath bombs because her daughter was starting her own business. Her daughter was 8.
Oh my God.
And she bought her some of the product from her daughter's website and gave it to her daughter and then bought her more supplies to make more. Like right? Right. But I'd already like watched some of her videos about like cleaning routines and meal prepping, and they were really good. And I was like, oh my God, this woman like really knows what she's talking about. And then I was like, oh, you're a bad person. I'm like, why doesn't she have any followers? Like, what's going on? She only has like 8,000 followers. She like her content's so good. And then I was like, oh shit. And she like homeschooled her kids and stuff. She did this video where she did their daily schedule, and she's like, this is the time to play outside. This is the time where I always have scheduled, so if I have an errand, I can do it during this time and I know I'm not busy. And I'm like, that's a great idea. One day of the week, I never schedule anything at this time block. And then if I have an appointment, it always goes there. Oh my God, the life, like she was really good actually. But I noticed she didn't have any time planned out for when her kids did schooling and they were homeschooled. And she went over their entire week and their entire schedule, and not one of her little time blocks was my kids' study. Not one. Several videos. And I started to be like, okay, well, maybe she just doesn't talk about it. Maybe she just doesn't want to talk about it. But then I was like watching more videos. I'm like, I don't think she's actually homeschooling her kids. And it made me kind of start to wonder. And then I started seeing the other weird stuff she was doing. And I was just like, what? It was like, it was really weird. And then I had to unsubscribe. And I've never told anyone about her because I don't want anyone I know to watch her videos and become crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, that was where I learned to do the whole meal prep for a year thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's really good, but I can't in good conscience recommend her to anyone because I think she's a horrible person. I know, it's crazy. You never know.
You never know. She may be. You can be insta-perfect, but behind closed doors, you're just a monster.
I was like, dude, I think that your kids are going to need therapy. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to say who it was. Just know. Careful who you follow and like take advice from. I don't know. Like you never know who they are.
Exactly.
Myself included. I'm just kidding. I'm not a monster. Anyway, so that was my minimalist story. Crunchy versus Silky. I know you got some stories. Here it is. Here's the tea. So we're going to define some terms. Crunchy mom. I mean, you've probably all heard, but apparently I just like never had enough interest to actually care. But a crunchy mom versus a silky mom, like crunchy mom isn't just someone who's like, how do I say this without being offensive? How do I say this without being offensive? This is tough. Crunchy moms are very, very conscious of everything and everything that maybe they shouldn't be conscious of. And maybe they're a little too obsessed about stuff, but they're like the kind of people who like don't believe in medicine all the time and like don't believe in like they want to be like vaccines. Yeah, they want to be like organic and they're like afraid of dyes and epidurals and diapers, and they want a cloth diaper and they want to breastfeed forever. But you guys know formula is just as healthy for your baby. Like you should never feel pressured to breastfeed your baby when you're not producing milk. You can give them formula. It's not going to hurt them.
Yeah.
PSA right there.
I had
like, I've done a lot of research because obviously I've had issues with this myself.
So crunchy parents prioritize like natural holistic approaches like organic food, limited screen time, alternative medicine.
Why did you say it like that?
I don't know. I mean,
God,
hesitant to vaccinations and may not always follow whatever the doctor says.
They're just up in like everyone's business all the time. I kind of feel like.
And they limit screen time. Sometimes they use cloth diapers.
That is a little bit more extreme, but it does. I know you've known people.
Yeah. And I mean, that's okay. Like, it's fine. It just wouldn't work for me. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to.
There's just no reason for it unless you're like, I thoroughly enjoy washing shit out of a diaper. Like, okay, I get it. Okay. Like sometimes people enjoy doing things an old fashioned way. I like to make pasta. You like to clean shit out of a diaper. Okay. You feel connected to ancestry. Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand.
That's how you feel though. Don't do it. There's no point.
I can understand if your child's like completely just allergic to every type of diaper.
That's different.
Yeah, use a cloth diaper.
That's different. But like, how many kids could that be?
Very, very small amount. So Silky parent, though.
No. You gotta talk about the people you used to know.
Oh, okay. You want me to talk about? Well,
personal experience. I have a personal experience with a crunchy mom too. I don't want you to tell.
Yeah, when I first became a parent, I was in a group of moms that were very crunchy.
And this was with your first child. It was it the hard of hearing and deaf group?
Yeah, we were in a group together for my hard of hearing daughter. And yeah, I mean, they did all the things. They did the cloth diapering and they had the in-home births without the epidurals.
Your daughter was a model for cloth diapers. I just remembered.
My daughter was a model for cloth diapers because they thought she was so cute. And they're like, can we use a photo? Can we take a photo of her in these diapers? Because they were trying to promote it. I need to see if I can find her under it. I don't remember. No, I don't think she was. But
okay.
She had like a little mermaid like.
It was really cute.
It was really cute. Yeah. And they were all
births. Like, did they really?
Mm-hmm. Two of them did. Yeah. They had the inflatable bathtubs in their living room.
Oh no, why in a bathtub?
With their husbands inside of it with them.
Why would you want that?
And their older siblings watching the birth.
No, stop!
Yeah.
Stop! No.
Not judging anybody. It's okay. You can do that if that's your style. I could not.
Fucking why?
Yeah.
Why? Also, though, no, like I really feel like it's not safe to have a child outside of a hospital if you don't have to. Like you don't have to get medicine if you're weird and think that pain is like, I don't know, your self-worth is tied to the amount of pain you can bear. Cool, good for you. You're weird, but sure. I'm sorry, I'm so judgy tonight, but you know what? This is just real talk. This is really how I feel. But if you're gonna have your kid at home, like you're just taking an unnecessary risk. That's all I'm saying. Like, what if something went wrong? Come for me. You know what? Come for me.
To each their own. Everybody has their different opinions. It's fine.
Only one of them is right.
Personally, I would not because I'm scared. Secondly, I don't want to be in pain.
Well, obviously that too. Obviously, I'm team epidural here, but even if I wasn't,
it also depends on your type of pregnancy. Like you're having, like if it's a healthy pregnancy and you feel like you can do it at home.
You never know, though.
But you never know. It's a risk.
Why tempt fate? This is also why I don't skydive. I guess if you skydive, if you're okay with skydiving, okay, I'm not. Why tempt fate? You could die. Why would you do that? Like, I want to fall from like 5,000 feet up and just dare that parachute not to open. I don't tempt fate. I don't believe in that shit. So anyway,
where were we?
I'm sorry. I'm so mean. Crunchy. So I had an incident where I was at a soccer game for my son. And my daughter was watching some YouTube video on my phone after like 20 minutes because she got bored. I'm like, hey, you can watch YouTube on my phone. Like, I don't really like her doing it because I want to be on my phone. Like, let's be honest.
Right.
But also, I'm like, oh, God, YouTube's annoying. And like, it kind of like, they do get obsessed with it, but it makes them happy. And my parents said the same shit about the cartoons I watched. And I'm just like, and it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. So anyway. She's watching it on my phone for like 5 minutes, and a little girl who's someone else's little sister on the other team comes over and is sitting I look over, I'm like, why is there another kid in the chair? I'm like, oh, it's that little girl. Okay, Guinevere is hanging out with her. She was like standing up and the little girl sit in the chair, and she was holding the phone, and they were both the little girl was holding the phone. They're both watching it. I shit you not. Her mom came over, fucking ripped my phone out of her hand, tossed it into the cup holder, and said, you don't watch a TV on the phone. You don't do that. Go play in nature. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was gonna be like, oh, she's okay. Like it's all right. I don't mind. I was like starting to like, oh, and she was like, you don't watch TV. You go play in nature. You don't play with her anymore. And I was like, whoa, bitch. Excuse me? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, no.
And then like dragged her daughter away before I could even say anything. I was like starting to walk over and I'm like, what the hell is your problem, lady? And I'm like, Whitaker was like confused, like kind of sad. Like, why can't she play with me? And I'm like, honey, if you want to play with her, you gotta give me the phone back. Her mom doesn't want her to watch TV, apparently. And she goes, go play in nature. Like, Whitaker's like, I'm going to go find my brother, I guess, because that was weird. And so she went off to the playground with her brother, which was like maybe like 200 yards away, but it was like a straight shot. So we could see them. They looked like little, but we could see them. Mm-hmm. So they're off on the playground playing. And then this little girl, I hear her. And she goes up to her dad and goes, Dad, my hands are dirty. Can you take me to the bathroom to wash them? And he's like, I'm not taking you to the bathroom to wash your hands because you decided to get them dirty. And the little girl's like, starts crying, and I was like, her mom made her do it. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. She didn't want to play in the dirt. Her mom made her.
Yeah.
And then her dad yells at her because she's upset about her hands being dirty. And I was just like, Guinevere, come back and play with this poor little kid. Please come play with her.
That's excessive. Like, poor kid. She's gonna have so many mixed emotions when she grows up.
I went to my husband and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why did she throw my phone?
I would be mad. I'd be like, excuse me, that's my phone. Hello. Like, who do you think you are?
So fucking shocked.
I
was like, oh, she's fine. Oh.
You took it way better than I think I would have. I think I would have gone off on the mom a little bit.
I was so fucking shocked. I could not believe that just happened. So Silky moms, on the other hand.
So a Silky parent embraces modern conveniences. readily uses technology and is more flexible with things like
Like a normal
processed
human.
foods and screen time, representing like opposite ends of what the parenting spectrum for crunchy mom leans towards. So like, you know, they are more relaxed about packaged snacks like chicken nuggets, you know. Your kid can have chicken nuggets every once in a
Butter
while.
butters, candy
Um,
snacks, chips. I get the
as
variety pack.
as far as healthcare, they're more typically standard towards medical advice. Um, you know, technology is a helpful parenting tool for them. You know, keep your kids busy. And then, you know, they'll use disposables, they'll use formula, all the stuff that makes parenting a lot easier for the majority of people
I
because
have to
there's
say again, do you know how many lives formula has saved?
right.
Millions.
It's true.
Formula being invented was like one of the greatest advancements that we've had.
Yeah, especially for a lot of those babies that are premature, and the babies that don't necessarily lean into their moms. I was able
Babies who
to,
have trouble pulling, there's a lot of them that do.
yeah, I was able to breastfeed for a few months with all my kids, but after a couple months, I was not producing enough milk. So it's like, what do? You know, you got to give them formula. And yes, I mean, it's a helpful tool. Like it's meant to help you and your children and nourish your kids. So why wouldn't you use it?
Because you're
It's beyond me.
crunchy. That's on me. I'm probably going to edit that out, but you know it's true. I just feel so strongly. I had such a journey with this
And
personally.
then, you know,
So-
there's moms that can't breastfeed. Like,
Yeah.
we have a friend right now that had to have her breasts removed
Yes,
because she had a gene where she possibly would get cancer. So she had her breast removed. She's now pregnant. And of course, she's not going to be able to breastfeed. So thank God there's this formula that you can provide to your children to help nourish their bodies.
And cornstarch too. I have a book, a baby book from the 40s that teaches you how to make it.
Yeah.
What they used to do before, but it doesn't. Here's the thing. Modern formula has all the same things that breast milk has in it that are good for your baby, that help with its digestive tract and help with its like immunity and stuff. It's all there. Like,
and there's different types too. There's so many different types and different, nutritional, like if you want like a more organic type of formula, you could look for that. Like there's so much out there.
It's not something that people should be worrying about. It's not something people should be stressing about.
Or
like
ashamed to be using it.
Breastfeed, if you feel that connection with humanity and with your child and it's going well for you and you're enjoying it, great. For a lot of people, we don't enjoy it. It's incredibly painful. It's sometimes impossible.
Mm-hmm.
It's a burden, and it shouldn't be. If you're not enjoying it, why are you doing it? You don't have to.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Like, do what you enjoy, but don't feel like there's just so much pressure. There's so much pressure to breastfeed. Like, there really is. Anyone who's had a baby knows that.
Yeah,
it's gross.
It's true.
And you don't even need an excuse not to. If you don't feel like doing it, you don't fucking have to. Like with my last child, I didn't do it. You know why? To prove a point. It's true. To prove a point. I'm a monster. I am. I'm a monster sometimes. You gotta like live by what you speak, what you preach, I guess, at some point, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not like against it or anything. It's just I just am against the shame that people put on people. That's what I'm against.
Yeah. I always say to each their own. Everybody has whatever fits their lifestyle, and that's okay.
God. Have you okay, I went down such a deep rabbit hole with Silky momming, and I realized for the first time there's a term that defines me, and I think it just means I'm like, oh, that just means you're normal. Oh, that must just be me. But I found the end of the internet. I found as far as I'm willing to go. All I did was type Silky Mom into YouTube, and my algorithm hates me because the first ones were like, are millennial moms abusing their kids? Lazy parenting or abuse? Pathetic excuse for parents hiding behind Silky Mom. I was like, what? And then a bunch of shorts with this really amazing comedian just like telling jokes. That was great. But all of the actual videos were like controversy. And apparently there's this mom who made a video about watch me plate my daughter's breakfast, my 1-year-old's breakfast, and she cut up a couple powdered donuts and put an applesauce packet, and people lost their minds. They were like, you don't deserve to be a parent. And then so she made some other videos where she was like, I'm a Silky Mom. So of course I got chicken nuggets in my freezer. I'm a Silky Mom. So of course my kids have TVs in their room. Like, okay, guilty and guilty. I'm a Silky Mom. So of course my kids get unlimited screen time. Okay, you're mostly guilty. I'm a Silky Mom. So of course my house isn't immaculate. Okay, also guilty. I'm a Silky Mom. And she was like doing all these things. And I'm just like, yeah, so you're like normal, cool. Like, right. But she was being like, it was like if an influencer was like what I eat in a day, but she was doing that for her kids, but like in the opposite. Like she was like, for breakfast, like, and my kids do this. Like for one day they had an Eggo. For lunch, they took a Lunchable to school, which they get once a week. Okay, they get a Lunchable once a week because it's easier than me making their lunches all the time. And they can take home lunch 2 times a week. One I make, when they get a Lunchable. Okay, there. I don't know why I feel the need to defend myself right now, but you know what I do because of this crazy trauma I just went through watching these fucking videos. But and then sometimes I get home and it's Fun Friday for dinner and we have chili dogs and French fries or chicken nuggets and French fries or pizza or McDonald's. Oh no. But like they also had a Lunchable for lunch and they had like, I don't know, an Eggo or something for breakfast or some dry cereal. That was the other. I'm like, do your kids not eat cereal? Okay, I ate cereal every single day as a child for like 15 years. I ate cereal. Okay, well, probably like 12 years. Then I got into like oatmeal and toast and shit for like 12 solid years. And one of my kids does eat dry cereal. He has his milk on the side. He prefers it that way. Like, what's the fucking difference if it's dry or wet? It's the same fucking nutritional value. It doesn't matter. Like Edmund will eat his cereal with a spoon dry and drink his milk on the side. I don't know why.
That's hilarious.
I give them their cereal and I give them their cup of milk and they do with it what they wish. It's their choice. Because I'm silky as fuck and I'm not trying to cause an argument, okay?
Right.
My kids eat their fucking breakfast. So anyway, yeah, this is a thing that happens. And so it's like, you know how fitness influencers cook like this crazy elaborate meal and you're like, that's not all they eat in a day. That's what they ate that one day. But with this woman, they're like, oh, you feed your kids that every day? Like, no, bitch. She was trying to be like, it's okay if you do this sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same. Do you double standard much, guys? So they were like being like, you don't deserve to have, people don't deserve to have kids. This is child abuse. I'm like, so I was on YouTube with my personal account. And I was like, I went into these people. I was like, oh, you think that she doesn't deserve, people don't deserve to have kids because she gave her toddler a powdered donut? Like, don't you think you're being a little extreme? There are children actually out there being abused, but you're here worried about how many chicken nuggets and how much screen time her kids get so you can act like you're superior. That's what I said. Like almost word for word. I'm trying to remember. That is literally what I said to this person. And my notifications are turned off, so I don't know if they answered me. But,
I'd be interested to see if anyone posted anything and screenshot that and
I was
that to people.
I was laying into people like and then I started getting stuff on my feed like, would you give your 5-year-old McDonald's? Yes, no, unsure. And I commented, if you said no, y'all are liars. It's true. Like, what do you mean you wouldn't give your 5 ever? Like, never. Like, really?
That's really insane.
That's nuts. Okay. And also, there was this other thing where this mom was like, I'm scrunchy because I let my kids have Tylenol because fevers are serious, guys, and that's more serious than the die. And I'm like, what? Who fucking hurt you to make you think that was even
Crunchy
something
moms.
you needed to fucking question? Like, do you need to explain why you gave your child with a fever medicine? Why do you feel like you need to do that? Stop it. Fucking stop it.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I think
I'm ranting. I'm done.
society has just made this thing where like moms have to be, and I always go back to social media. It's social media.
Yeah, it's the gray beige moms. It's not real.
It's created all of these like terms and shit that you have to have for moms. Like, why is this even a thing, you guys? Like, why is this even a thing? Like, everyone should be allowed to parent however they fucking want. Like, it shouldn't be a fucking discussion, you know, unless you're like a completely abusive, like terrible parent.
Like a piece of shit, yeah.
Right. Like, it's just why bring terminology into momming?
Well, I think we finally made it to the 4 actual types of parenting. God, that took a while. Authoritarian, permissive, neglectful, or authoritative. And this can actually affect your child's attachment style. So these are the real parenting types, not all this. I don't even know what we just talked about for an hour. It was a lot. So authoritarian is very like tiger mom. Okay, I'm sorry, tiger mom, but you know you're an authoritarian. You know what? It's okay. Live your best life. Permissive is mom's mom. Your, like you say, I'm your mom, not your friend. But some people's mom is their friend. That's what I think of. I have these like, I don't know why I have these. Neglectful is the abusive parent who neglects their child, but it could also be like the less abusive, but just like your kid needs something and you just like ignore them or you tell them to go away, which sometimes all of us do, but to a point where it's like your child's needs aren't being met and they not even their physical needs, but also their emotional needs are starting to get damaged because you're not making the time that's necessary for them. You're neglecting them. Yeah. And then authoritative, which creates the rare unicorn that is securely attached to their parent. I've known one of these people. I'm just kidding. I'm sure I've known several, but I don't really know what authoritative means. I'm not going to lie. I just remember it's the healthy one. That's how little I understand this. Healthy attachment.
So I have their parenting style balances structure and independence while still providing support and nurturing. Supportive, reasoning, they set boundaries, they have good communication with their children.
This is where gentle parenting stems from, I think. Which one do you think you are?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a mixture of a few. Like, I can't really.
I think I'm all of them.
Yeah. Right? Like, I can be permissive at times.
So permissive.
I can be. I don't want to say neglectful. I don't think I've ever been neglectful with my kids.
I think sometimes I do, though. I'm just like, what do you want now? God, can you just go away sometimes? Like, I know, like, you know.
That kind of neglectful, yeah.
Not like abusive neglectful, but I know sometimes I'm just like, I don't have time for you.
I can be strict with my kids. I can be overprotective.
I can be quite the authoritarian sometimes.
Yeah, so I can't really say I'm one more than the other.
Authoritative, because it sounds like authoritarian and it sounds scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
I get the gist.
I feel like I probably would relate to that one more than all the other 3, just because, you know, they're responsive and nurturing, but also set firm limits for their children. Like, I do that. Explains rules, discusses.
That's important. I do that.
And reason with their children to influence their behavior. I do that.
When I can.
You know, they listen to their child's viewpoints when we have the time. Clear expectations and consistent boundaries.
I try really hard.
Clear expectations, yeah. I try that. Consistent boundaries.
My boundaries are a mess.
That goes and comes.
My boundaries are a fucking mess.
communicate with their children, including listening to them. Me and my husband really try to do that, like listen to our children and see what they have to say. Adapt to different circumstances. Yeah.
As best as you can.
So it says authoritative parents are assertive, but not intrusive or restrictive. And they use supportive disciplinary methods rather than punitive ones.
So are they kind of like a blend of all three of
I think that I feel like it is.
Huh. Weird how that works.
And it says, children with authoritative parenting tend to be friendly, energetic, cheerful, self-reliant, self-controlled, curious, cooperative, and achievement-orientated.
If you identified with any of these parenting styles, let us know what you think you are. And comment and like and subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us once again. We all know parenting is hard. We all have different ways of parenting, and do what works best for you and your family.
And don't be so like freaking concerned and worried. And like if you're like on the fence about having kids, honestly, if you're on the fence, you should just do it because you have the desire.
Yeah.
Just don't let society hold you back.
Kids are awesome. I love having kids, and I love being a mom. I love being a whiny mom.
I love being a whiny mom. And I didn't grow up perfect. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to have, I don't know what secure attachment is. And you know what? That's okay because I'm learning with my kids. I just think too, like if your kids aren't perfect, like you're not perfect, would you rather not exist? That's all. That's like deep shit, but it's true. Would you like? I'd rather exist personally, and I'm sure some people maybe can say they wouldn't. And if you can honestly say you wouldn't, okay, I respect that. But most people aren't going to say that. If you want to do it, that means you should that means you should do it. That means you have the drive. So like, I guess don't let these people like scare you. Team kids.
Kids. I don't know. Kids are awesome.
I don't know why that's my message right now. I'm being weird.
I don't know. Having kids saved me.
Mm-hmm.
So
it saves a lot of people.
They made me a better person, honestly. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have my kids. I'm 100% sure. I'm thankful for my children because they make me who I am. Like I may be a hot mess, whiny mom, crazy ass, whatever term you want to define me. But at the end of the day, I'm here for them. I'm here for these children. Like they make my world go around. So
I think that's very valid.
Yeah.
And it's not, I think sometimes we get lost in our own ego as moms. I do. I think that's a thing. And our own ego, like maybe that's not really the point, right?
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people say stuff like that. And when I was looking through these videos, like a lot of people were responding like, I grew up in this situation and I had my kids and I love having my kids. Because like just because you're not perfect doesn't mean you can't be a good parent.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect. That's not a requirement. That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, I don't know.
Well, thank you all for listening. Love your babies. Be who you are. Parent how you want. Like, comment, subscribe, follow.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you guys. Have a good night.